fried chicken.
Oh my god.
French fries.
Oh my god.
Soft drinks.
Oh my god.
Lemonade. And for dessert, cheesecake and blueberries.
Oh, I love cheesecake.
Hello and good evening. Survivor 49, episode 9. If you're loyal to all, you're loyal to none. Has finished, but we're just getting started here on Super Mater Brothers Podcasting. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, this is now the third merge episode, and loyalty is cracking, alliances are splintering, and the tribal council felt less like a vote and more like a warning shot. Now, here's the guy who watched the merge fracture into chaos. The vote sliced through like a machete, and is mostly wondering, now that Alex has been voted out, will he finally be able to pop that zit? I'm your host, Dave Mater, and we got a great panel here to break down this episode once again. Coming in here first, he's here for the competitions, the chaos, and the clutch performances. If it's a challenge, he's already ranking it. If it's a flop, he's already calling it out. It's Josh Foster.
Oh my God! Now we're at the full name, Dave. You're killing me. People know the full name. They put it all together. But I'm happy to be here. You know, another week, another day to watch Survivor.
Yeah, hold on. I'll use your middle name if you're not careful. You know.
Oh, okay, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Coming in here next, he's a pop culture aficionado with Funko stacked to the ceiling and hot takes for Tribal. If the edit's misleading or the gameplay's theatrical, he's already dissecting it. And she's got the Lego builds, the layered alliances. She's all about the structure. She's watching the game one blind side at a time. If the vote's messy, but the logic's clean, she's already mapping the next move. It's Jaemeel and Becky Robinson.
Hey.
Welcome. Oops.
In the corner. Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Yeah.
Hi there.
Welcome. Glad to have you both with us.
Glad to.
And we are talking, Survivor 49, episode 9. Jason R. Phillips also expected to join us on this broadcast, but he's going to be a bit late, so we'll bring him in a bit. I kind of already spoiled, but just again a spoiler warning: if you've not watched episode 9 of Survivor 49, we are going to be breaking that all down in depth over the next hour or so. And Alex becomes the third member of the jury here. Jaemeel, not happy. Becky also doesn't look happy. Foster, do you have a feeling one way or the other on this outcome?
You know the meme where Jim from The Office is like, "What is going on?" And he's like, in the camera, like literally, like, "What is going on here? Why are they not like?" It's like they're eating the middle, but like not going after each other. Like they're being nice, but they're being stupid. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. So we know that there's kind of like these two groups, and basically they all felt like, and Alex even admits here, he's like, I guess I was playing the middle too much. And then was like, no. Well, if you're in the middle, if you're loyal to all, you're loyal to none, being the name of the episode, I think is very much the eulogy here to Alex, where they're like, well, maybe you're with me, maybe you're with them. I can't tell. So therefore you're expendable, or you're too much of a liability. Jaemeel, what would you have liked to have seen happen here? If Alex wasn't the guy to go.
People not being dumb. Here's ultimately what the issue is, right? By not attacking the individuals that you want to get out in the end game, you've now made the idol more powerful. You've made the extra vote more powerful, right? And more time before the steal a vote becomes more of an option, right? Or sorry, it's not steal a vote, but like
knowledge is power.
Yeah. You have a loyal trio that's there, and the strength that you have is your numbers, where you can split the votes, right? And instead of splitting the votes between Soph and Rizzo to possibly flush out the idol / get rid of Rizzo,
or Soph,
they practically vote for neither, and they vote out one of their numbers.
Soph ends up getting more votes than Rizzo here, which is because clearly they thought Sage and Jawan were voting with them, the old Hina side, which was consisting of Steven, Christina, I guess Alex, kind of. Although he was very much kind of a floater in the middle. And who else was voted that way tonight? That I'm forgetting.
I voted for Soph.
Oh, no, just those three. Everyone else voted Alex here.
Yeah.
But who? I guess. Yeah. Sage and Juan, I guess, being the swing votes that ultimately threw this against Alex, and somehow Rizzo, 2 episodes in a row, Becky, is able to escape any kind of consequences. He's able to take this target off of him effectively and put it onto somebody else twice in a row here. How's he doing it?
I don't know. We missed the first half of the show. I think he's pretty good friends with Savannah, right? And I think I don't know what he's doing. Like, I thought he'd have more votes tonight, and they'd really want to flesh that idol. So I'm a little surprised they voted for Alex.
Yeah, but they were. But you saw here that Rizzo was able to work his magic, in particular over Juwan and Sage, which I think was what ultimately mattered the most here. But just hold that thought, as joining us is the host of Hey, Did You See This One? The critic's eye for tribal theatrics and a director's sense of pacing. If the vote felt like a Shakespearean betrayal, he's ready to cast the whole tribe. It's Jason R. Phillips. How you doing, Jason?
I have a director's sense of pacing.
Yes.
How's everybody doing tonight? A good episode.
I thought so.
Well. I'm coming in 5 minutes late here because I had to also watch on a delay, just like Jaemeel and Becky last week or 2 weeks ago. But I'm here. Get used to it.
Yeah, and we were glad to have you with us, Jason. And we were just trying to figure out this.
Wait, made me stop. I'm here. Get used to it. Wow.
Yeah. Jason, how's Rizzo?
I'm not allowed to say that.
Jason, how's Rizzo doing it? How has he managed to escape the crosshairs, most notably in these last 2 episodes, so effectively?
Listen, Rizzo is playing the old squeak by the skin of his neck game right now. I have him. So we have our fantasy survivor, and after the merge, if you've lost people, you're allowed to pull. You're allowed to pull people onto your team. So I was like, you know what? I'm losing this season anyway. I'll take Rizzo, and I've been squeaking by the skin of my neck for the last 2 weeks, and I don't know how he did it again, but he's just managing to do it. I'm not even sure really how he's doing it. I think his alliances are pretty solid. Maybe that could be, usually how Survivor works, but I honestly don't know, because they know he has an idol. Just flush the idol by any means necessary.
Well, and don't forget, Christina also has an idol, but that's much less talked about. And so Manioso, you're shouted out. Thanks for being with us here live. And so Christina, there's no talk, not everyone knows she has the idol, although some, Steven tells Sage, right, in this episode about that. And so some people have some knowledge of Christina's idol, although it's a lot less public than Rizzo's idol. But yeah, Rizzo just being this much bigger target. Savannah being a target, but has won immunity twice in a row here. This ongoing challenge duel here, Foster, between Yellow Sophie and Savannah is going on now that we're in this individual stage of the game. And tonight they gave out a women's immunity and a men's immunity, but I think Steven was not going to best probably either of them, right, if it had just been an open challenge. So and what their prospects are.
First of all, equality. Yes, let's go. I've never. It's been a while since they've done a men's and a women's. I don't remember that last season, right? And it seems like what's the word I'm looking for? Again, they're still trying different things every time. Like, we haven't even seen the Sanctuary, right? Like I don't like
Good
again, like
things
it just seems
happen?
like they're
Or good things happen, but not this season.
yeah, I know, right? So again, it's just again, this feels like, and I correct me if I'm wrong. Did they even do a women's and a men's at the same time last season? Because I don't think they did. Right.
I don't remember specifically last season. They've definitely done this before where they'll do
Yeah,
a
I know
challenge.
they've done it, but again, it's just it feels like again like this is another opportunity. Like the challenge that they had, which I've never seen that one before. I mean, it's literally just like a leg press, like a hold leg press, right? So it's just literally like a physical challenge, if you will, endurance, But it's really it's really apparent that there is not a lot of like athletic is not the right word, but I guess I don't know the right term to use because it's like you don't really see like a lot of like a physically gifted. I don't know what the right term is, right? Because you don't see these like long battles anymore, right? With this group, like Jake was kind of like again. We came into this season and there wasn't a lot of like big guys or even like MC would have been I think someone who would really have done really well in this challenge.
Yeah.
Although I did notice that they were all close, where Savannah had her legs stretched out and Sophie had to bend her legs, right? Which could play a part in terms of how, but the point I'm trying to make is that, the men's side is not very strong physically, in my opinion.
No,
And
not challenge wise. Yeah.
No, and I'm very surprised with how well Savannah's doing, but it's not knock to her. It just may speak to the competition that she faces on that side with the other women. Like again, I could easily see a Savannah versus Sophie pretty much almost every week at this point. The one thing I'm going to be interested to see is a arms like balancing one, because the last kind of two that Savannah won were very much about your legs.
Right. Well, and yeah, you're right that like in terms of like I think some of these challenges this season they're not necessarily favoring I guess traditional strength or athleticism in all aspects. Mostly they're going to endurance challenges in these first couple stages, where it's just about how long can you hold on. This one tonight was a lot about leg strength. It was a lot about ab strength, but just how long can you sit there and suffer. And it definitely it favored, I think, shorter people, shorter legged people than longer, like Rizzo, for instance, who's kind of more of a gangly type. So you see him go out right away in this challenge tonight. And I keep wondering, like, in particular with Sophie, Yellow Sophie, as she's sometimes referred to, like, how much is she like improving her chances of at least being a contender at the end? Because she was mostly invisible for the first part of this game, like pre-merge, and now she's won individual immunity and come close twice now, right? So she's definitely got to be on everyone's radar as a challenge threat. And if she gets to the end, like how much is that going to matter to the jury?
They're also focusing up on her too a lot with the edit. I've said this on the show before. She would have been, if she wasn't, if they weren't pushing her so much, she's one of those characters where out of nowhere, it's like, who the hell is this person? But all of a sudden, since she's been doing so well in challenges, they've sort of been focusing up on her. And I can see her going the distance now. I've been having this issue with Survivor, and I think I figured out what it is. And I think the length of the episodes, but the shortness of the seasons make it so they're manufacturing these storylines that feel disjointed, because I'm having a hard time following the alliances. I'm having a really hard, like every episode, it seems like this is my ride or die. We're going to the end together. I'm like, this has never been mentioned before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sage and Jawan, like what?
They're each other's number one. Like I knew that they had been working together, but I didn't know it was that tight. And they're like a voting pair, and they're locked in here. And I guess Steven was the other one, because we knew his ride or die was MC. Now that he doesn't have MC, he's like I guess it was
pour it out for MC.
Yeah, MC.
She was my MVP. I won my last fantasy season. I'm doing a generational bad season this season. So
Well, on that note of MC, because I know Jaemeel and Beck, you didn't see all the beginning of the episode, so I'm just gonna quickly sort of recap what occurred. And they came out of the MC vote, where she was voted out. So everyone comes back, and everyone's expecting Rizzo to be voted out, right? Or largely, that's like the expectation here. And instead, it's not Rizzo. And if it's not Rizzo, they think it's going to be Sophie. But if it's not Sophie, they are then shocked to see it's MC. And in particular, Christina and Steven are shocked that it's MC that went out. And they don't do much to hide that shock. And so Sophie is like, what the hell? I thought, like they're all from the original Hina tribe together, and she's even kind of vocalizing like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling too confident here about how this reaction is. Like, we're so glad you're safe, Sophie. And Christina in particular, I think, was like, ugh, you're here instead of MC. I wanted to go to Final 3 with MC. Is there anything I'm forgetting, guys? In that beginning stage where
that's pretty well it. Like Sophie comes back, and it's palpable that everybody thought that she was going to go home, and to have MC gone was shocking to everybody. And that's another thing. There's a bit of her talking to somebody later and being like, I went from being blind in this game to getting LASIK, and all of my yellow little blobs are now clear that they all want me gone. So
they don't want her gone. They just wanted someone here before her, more than her, right? And that's just her like misinterpreting like relationships in the game. She has an opportunity to improve her relationship now that MC, who was liked more or better connected, but she's taking the opposite reaction to it and just like, well, I guess I have nobody, kind of thing, which is
she's like feeling like more of a free agent, or at least she's at the like whatever the old Hina means to each other now, because I guess with MC out there's only like the 3 original, Sophie, Steven, and Christina. And then, from the Red Tribe, you have Savannah, Sage, Rizzo, and Jawan. And then you got Soph and Alex, well, from the Blue, the original Blue tribe.
I just mean that she took the wrong approach to the situation, because she's in a better position as opposed to realizing where she was. She didn't realize where she is now.
Right. It was both. And that was also what was commented. So that after the initial shock, there's like sort of the morning after, and on the beach, we see a conversation between Steven and Sage about, the aftermath of all of this. Steven in particular confides with Sage about, hey, like, guess what? There's another idol, not just Rizzo's idol. Christina has an idol. And it's supposed to be we're sharing it as like the old Hina tribe. But, now that MC's gone, I think, Steven as much says so in his confessional. He's like, I don't know. I had all this trust, all this invested in MC. And now I need somebody else to be my new number one. So he feels like that can be Sage. He feels like Sage and Jawan, what was, I forget, the bottom dollar or whatever they were called. If I'm, they had like
bottoms up.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it Mission Control?
To Major Tom.
Yeah,
but they had a team called Mission Control. I thought.
Bottoms up.
Yeah, which I think is kind of interesting here because Steven in particular says to Sage, I like how not game aware is Yellow Sophie. Like she didn't understand that like MC was more connected than her, and that she was so shocked that that people would be devastated to see MC go. And he's like, at least up to this point, Sophie is not reading the tribe well, and so that makes her not a valuable ally to him. Like if anything, it's more of a liability, because if you can fool her and he's going to be trusting her for information, then that's no good for him. So he feels much better here with Sage, and I think ultimately that's a big part of. Well, I guess it's not though, because I'm like ultimately Steven and Sage don't vote together by the end of this episode. and whatever. Like,
But did they have the understanding that they were going to vote for Alex just in case an idol was put on, and they have that safety net? Because
I believe I think if you're Sage and Jawan told like Christina and Steven, like, hey, we're gonna vote for Rizzo, right? Because that's why Soph ends up getting more votes than Rizzo here in like the split, because all these votes that were supposed to be at Rizzo ended up going onto Alex instead. And that was sort of the bamboozling of it all.
But the feeling isn't that Sage and Jawan are voting with Savannah, Rizzo, and Soph.
Not like they're at least not like a locked alliance.
Yeah.
Like, no,
it was a
absolutely
voting block, or what was the voted clusters? What was it? Vote clusters that they're
trust clusters.
Trust clusters they were using for a little while.
Yeah.
It didn't become a thing.
No.
Right. Well, I guess like the trust clusters, if you will, like at this stage of the game, prior to even like Alex being sort of this this floater, but he's sort of more aligned technically with the Christina, Steven, it was MC group, but you know, so Alex is kind of more with them, and then you have Savannah, Rizzo, and Soph.
Yeah. Alex shouldn't have played the middle this early too hard. The whole point of playing the middle is when the numbers on the other side start to go down, right?
Yeah.
You can realign the balance by using the remnants of that other side that's decimated, plus maybe one or two people from the larger alliance to make a new majority and set the targets at the people in charge of the former majority. That's how you play the middle. You just bounce back and forth.
Yeah, it really makes me appreciate, who was it last season? Kevin? He played the middle really well. The one that won.
Kyle.
Yeah, and he played that like he was the middle right to the end, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he did a really good job.
That's a good point. And if assuming they saw that season, like they're coming off of they
didn't see the season, didn't they?
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe they haven't.
There's a distinction though, because like you don't want to play the middle and be a goat. You want to still have some agency, right? And I think I think Alex thought he had agency in his position, and I think that he was kind of a victim of circumstance. Like it seemed like it was him or Soph tonight, and really at the end of the day they should have pulled the trigger on Rizzo, but Rizzo managed to do that thing where he appeals to enough people that he sways it, and for some reason people listen. Which is crazy. In
particular, Jawan, he's very good at convincing Jawan of whatever the mindset is.
I think the last person that gets to Jawan is going to convince Jawan how to vote. The last person. I think it's whoever. I think throughout the day, many people try to appeal to him, and whoever gets to him last is going to be the one that sways.
So what you're saying is that before he goes to tribal, Jawan just has to look in the mirror and be like, who am I playing for? Am I playing for myself? Oh, I know what's going on. I should go for Rizzo, because he was like, I go for Rizzo, and then
just throw a stick for him after you talk to him, and he'll run into the woods and he'll try to
ultimate
find the stick.
like passenger princess. He's just there for the time.
He's an absolute definitive goat in this season, and they all know because he's like Uncle Jeff.
He's an interesting character. I will for sure. Like this was a big. Jawan was a big part of this episode tonight. He ends up going. I'm skipping ahead, but he goes on this reward not because he earned it, but because it's kind
of insane.
Given to him by Christina. And as a I guess errand of mercy, in some ways, because she feels so bad here for Jawan. And he has a hard time accepting that, but they're like, take the fried chicken, come on, go get the food and whatever.
And he's like,
yeah. That's when we came in. We just see him just
the chicken.
Yeah.
Like
pretty passive character still. Like she's not really rocking boats yet. She's just there.
I just from our perspective, we asked this question for the last couple of weeks. Do you think Christina could win? No, still no.
No. I don't know who she sits with to win. Everybody else has played a better game than her up to this point.
She wanted to sit against MC at the end.
No.
Like come on.
Rest in
Like,
peace.
what do you like? You thought you were gonna win? like what world are you winning against MC in the end, Christina?
Well, what did Jeff say? Do you think you're good? No, I think I'm great. Is that basically?
Yeah, like Christina, she seems like a very nice person and everything, but like in terms of her gameplay, I've been very underwhelmed. She has this idol, but like tonight's episode in particular, where she's like, well, we got to get Rizzo out, and like her the words she says as she shows up her her parchment as she's voting tonight, and we got to have a backup plan, and it's got to be Soph. But does it? What does it have to be Soph? In this situation, like why can't the backup be Alex? Right? And why? What?
I think it shows where she sits in terms of her win equity when this is something that obviously was a vote that she was pushing extremely hard, and you can see how well it went for her in terms of people jumping on board. And it was a very lonely and quiet ride because no one was in her train car, right? So I think ultimately she also, if Steven's using the same thought process that he was using for Sophie, Christina also does not have a good read on this game. And really, she kind of feels like story-wise, like she's just holding on to that idol until Soph takes it from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the knowledge is power advantage. Well, and I think that the other thing too is like Christina, who are you working with exactly? Steven, I guess, is like for sure. But after this previous vote where MC got voted out, and then Yellow Sophie's feeling sort of dejected because they're more upset that she's here than MC. You see that like Christina and Sophie aren't really working together. They don't vote together in this episode. And Sophie is sort of like this free agent. And I'm like, okay, so but on the other hand, Steven doesn't really trust Christina. Like he's using her as a number, and he'll use, if he can get Sophie to vote with him, he'll use that as a number. But like that three, that Hina 3 is gone. Basically, they're not working together any more than like Alex and Soph were. And so now it's like it's really coming down to, you got Savannah and Rizzo, and then I guess you got Sage and Jawan, who are all former Red, but they're kind of like the two blocks there, and they're kind of playing everybody else. They're and they end up voting together here because they're like, okay, we'll get Alex out, then we'll go down to 8. All right. And taking out that swing vote, I guess for a lot of them, they're feeling better about it. How the dynamics are going to play out in this next stage, but short-sighted, like
you can't split the votes. With 8, you have 3 people on one side, and then possibly the remainder, right, on the other side. So Rizzo wins or has his idol. You have an extra vote, so your 3 isn't really 3; it's 4 possibly, right? And now you have whoever wins immunity, which, given the track record, could be either Savannah or could be Sophie, who might not be on your side. So, like, just number calculations, this would have been the week to really take that shot to kind of secure, forward momentum. If Alex was going to turn on you, as long as he didn't turn on you this week, you were okay.
Yeah, like I just like I gotta give props to Rizzo here and his ability to convince everyone that Alex was like the big threat, and that he was able to convince Sage and Jawan in particular, and that's why he pulls this off. But it's like I'm impressed with the guy, and what he's doing. Is he dealing with stupid players? Yeah, to an extent, for sure. I think, but that's any season of Survivor. You're gonna have smart people and you're gonna have dumb people.
No, I don't think he's necessarily that smart either, though. Like, I don't I don't want to give him that much credit. Like I think
Thank you. See,
You
we're on the
know,
same
like,
page.
No, I agree with Bex and Jaemeel as well. I think that he's like he's got a silver tongue, and he's slightly smarter than the dumb people he's corralled. Or maybe not even equally as smart, just more he can coerce them.
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
It's just
But he has a loyal
Luke
trio
Wilson
there.
in
Yeah.
Idiocracy, where
He's got Savannah and he's got Blue Sophie, right? And that trio seems to be loyal to each other here. We see Soph is
That's
like,
true.
they try to approach her. Who tries to approach her?
Christina, right?
Was it Christina? Yeah, I think it was Christina.
was-
And they're trying to get Soph on their side to vote. We're gonna get Savannah out. She's the mean girl. We gotta get her out, right? And therefore, like, we see Soph goes right to Savannah, and Rizzo's like, they're planning to vote you, guys split the votes and get you out. So just let you know, like, and I know you think you have Jawan and Sage, but you don't. And so,
that trio does have a lot of power. You're right. They have the hidden immunity idol, and they have the knowledge is power, and they have
the extra vote,
yeah,
which becomes even more powerful as you get rid of other people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Christina could have just said, "Hey, join with us. We're getting rid of Rizzo. We're putting all the votes on Rizzo, right? And we're splitting the votes. Let's say there was how many people? There was 6 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 people. We're gonna put 3 on Rizzo and 3 on Christina. And with the idea that don't worry, we have a plan, or lie and say that Sage has an idol or something like that, or like anything to redirect to focus that Rizzo's our main target. We're gonna put those votes on to Rizzo.
Didn't Jeff say this was the most tactical?
No, he was lying. He was straight up
That
lying.
was passive lie, right? I was just like,
I was rolling my eyes like crazy
It's like, what
during
did you
tribal
say?
council when he was like, "Oh,
This is so tactical.
this is so tactical,
Strategic.
Everyone is so just strategic,
I felt I was
we've
like
graduated
so
to a higher level of strategy." I'm like, where? Not with this group. He's watching a different.
Does Jeff not watch the dailies? I assume he's watching all of this like a Big Brother character.
Oh my God.
Yeah, maybe. Like this was the only the second vote where we had this many people voting. Like when Nate got voted out, like that was like 10 or 11 people voting. This had 9 people voting tonight, and on Christina, like what's driving me nuts about her, and why I agree with you that like I would not vote her to win, and I would not even vote her to like win like favorite player or anything like that, because she's too timid. She's too afraid. She's like, we have to have a backup plan. We can't just put all the votes onto Rizzo. Why the fuck not? Why can't you just put the votes on Rizzo and get it done with, right? No,
I don't think I've ever heard Dave swear before.
Sorry.
Here's the crazy thing. You would think that she would say something like, "Let's put all the votes on Rizzo. Let's go all in." Because if someone's going to take a shot, they're not wasting that shot on her. So she should be the one that's most bold, especially in that plan. She does not understand her place in this game.
No,
she does not at all.
Agreed. And she's completely unwilling, and she's not the only one. She's not the only player that's like this, but she doesn't want to take any risk. Like this fear that the players have about, okay, if someone plays an idol or they play a shot in the dark or whatever, and there's like 2 votes and that's how I go to the game, that would be like the worst thing ever. If that's the way it goes, it's the way it goes. Like be willing to take
Dave, she does not I at this time, I bet she does not use this idol at all. She does
Probably
not use this idol for the. She will.
Do you think she goes home with it in her pocket, or do you think she just never uses it?
It either gets taken from her, or she she uses it on the last tribal, right? Like what's the name? Good old Sue. And she's like, "I'm playing this idol for myself. It's the last day to do it." And no one votes for her.
Votes.
It was even an option
because everybody wants to sit next to her at final 3.
Right. And I think like who wouldn't want to sit next to her? Clearly, MC wanted to. MC had convinced her that was a great idea.
She wasn't dreaming of a steak at night. She was dreaming of sitting beside Christina. It's like, oh my gosh, that money is mine.
And I'm frustrated with Christina because I'm like, if she made a couple different moves, like I feel like she could all of a sudden become like a contender, like not a favorite to win, but at least like someone who had a chance to get some votes at the end. But right now, like as just an audience member, I'm like, don't vote for her. She doesn't deserve to win at all. Like,
she's a tourist. Yeah.
She's there to enjoy the vacation.
Yeah.
Like she's like, this is nice.
Right. She's just here. Yeah, she's here for a long time, not a good time, I guess is her version of things. She just
a long time, not a good time.
We're all talking about like how Jeff was trying to inspire people to like really go all out to get onto 50. You're telling me that you have an idol. How bold it would have been to say,
I'm playing this on Alex.
No, let's.
That would have been wild,
right? Imagine she does that.
Oh my god!
You can bring that up in if you're sitting there with Alex, or you get Alex out because he makes it another week or whatever. You can use that at Final 3. You can be like, I did this plan and it executed it well.
Or try to get everyone to vote for you out, right? Like,
or so yeah, try to get. Yeah, I don't know how you do that, but everyone vote for Christina, and then she somehow is able to neutralize all these votes.
Rizzo and attempts to choke him. And people hold her back.
Yeah. But like there's none of that from her. She's just like she just wants to survive another day. She's too meek. She seems like a very nice person. Like, and I liked that she kind of gave her reward here to Jawan tonight. Like, I don't know, it was kind of a moment.
Dave, she could have used that energy to win the challenge, obviously, right?
But she did win the challenge. She did win.
Christina?
Yes.
No.
So I mean, like the real challenge. Let's be honest. The real challenge. The one for immunity. The real challenge.
Oh,
not
that would
challenge.
Yeah. Right. The reward challenge. I mean, yeah.
You're not talking about the show, the challenge, the real challenge.
Real challenge.
Well, Foster, do you want to talk about this reward challenge? Because we're probably in that part of the episode tonight. We can. It was. They had to move a box around, and they had to eventually.
This was probably one of the worst I've seen this season. It was terrible. Like there was, like nothing like untying some ropes and then throwing a hoop and rolling a box. Like there was
also the third pushing challenge this season.
Like and like crawling through that. Like if that was a minefield, that would have been interesting. But there's no mines, Dave. Like this is, it's just soft, pillows they can just, take with them back to camp. You know what I mean? Like I don't like,
take a nap during the challenge.
Like it's interesting because I was thinking about towards the end of the episode, and it's kind of reflective of what you said, Jason, about a shorter season with longer time, and how the producers and. Like sort of on that note, like I thought to myself, like this is the first time like I've ever thought to myself, like I feel bad for the producers in the sense of like there's nothing to do with this footage.
They basically showed the whole challenge uncut because it's so short.
I get obviously like there's production. Like don't get me wrong, like there's a production issue, but the producers as it relates to cutting it and showing it, like it really shows their flaw of an hour and a half episode because first of all, the cast is not very good in my opinion right now. Like at this point in the season, right? It's not like
in what way?
Well, if we're okay, because again, like
MC and Matt isn't there anymore. That's
I'm sitting up here because I'm sitting up here because
he's heated.
Yeah, I'm heated. Well, I'm not gonna drop as many F-bombs as Dave, but No, but it again, like when you watch Survivor, you compare to the previous seasons, right? Especially with this podcast, plural, right? Seasons plural. And if we're looking at this time of the season versus last season, right? Last season far more interesting when it comes to characters, right? And right away you just talk about, Kyle, Camilla, Joe, Ava, like right there, 4 right there, right? Like, and 3 of them are going to 50, right? It's not, again, like, and then you look at this season and it's been so lackluster. Like the fact that like Savannah, who, you know, is on one hand just not a great watch, but also like the only thing to watch, you know. So, you know, and you you're rooting against, because, you know, again, we talked about how she would be on the villain tribe if it was heroes versus villains, right? Just the way that she plays. But again, like there's not a lot of charisma. Like there's nobody you're wanting to see in the diary, or the confessionals, like we've had in the past with I can't remember her name. Like she did the podcast or whatever. I guess there was some issues with that or whatever. Post her show, we thought she was going to come back. I can't remember the yeah,
It's
yeah.
my favorite.
Oh,
I can't remember her
Carolyn.
name, but like
Carolyn.
But like there's nobody for
Oh, yeah.
confessionals. There's nobody that's like last season you saw how like on top of the game mentally both Kyle and Camilla were, like the way that they were talking. Like there's no, again, like you said, Jason, the show there's no direction because the players don't have direction.
Even
right?
Kyle and
And-
Camilla last season, they buried the lead on their secret game they were playing, and that's what I was thinking of tonight when I was like, they're just manufacturing these like moments instead of showing how these alliances come to be. Just suddenly they're together. Last season with Kyle and Camilla, they were like all of a sudden they're together and they've been working together the whole time and orchestrating everything, but we never really saw any of it. And then Kyle ends up winning because of it. It's a really bizarre way to do it. And if you have an hour and a half or even 2 hours an episode to set all this stuff up, I don't know why they seem to be spinning their heels with this so badly. And I think it's because in the old seasons, when the show ran for like 3 months and there was way more episodes, 2 or 3 more episodes, and they were out there for longer, by the end of it, they're going crazier. They're getting a little bit more loopy. So there's more entertaining stuff to see around this time and beyond. But now they're like wrapping their games up. There's only what 3 episodes left, 4 episodes left. So they're all in like focused up game mode. They're getting their food rewards much closer together. So they're all fed now. It seems like the rewards are all very food based towards the end of the season.
Very food based, yeah.
And for dessert, cheesecake and blueberries.
Oh, I love cheesecake.
It was so hilarious because just before we literally started the pod and you were playing the food stuff on the countdown, we were literally talking to our daughter about she's like, oh, I want something to eat. It's like, what do you want? She's like, I don't know. And then all you hear is the countdown going, cheesecake.
I want cheesecake.
Fries. And she's like, does Dave know? Dave know?
I want some fried chicken, some French fries, and some blueberry cheesecake, please.
I was eating a delicious turkey dinner leftover from Friendsgiving last weekend, and on my screen is Sage talking about once again saving blackheads in a jar, and I'm like, why? I don't need to hear that. I like Sage, but she's now mentioned this 3 times.
I hadn't picked up on this until tonight, and then Jane had to explain to me. I'm like, wait, she's taking blackheads out of like her skin, and she's putting that into a
She's
jar.
a hoarder. She should be on my freaky addiction or whatever that show is called.
I say what you will. In this Sage versus Savannah thing, I'm on the Savannah train. I can't abide.
Oh, you don't like Sage? But she's a wolf, baby.
She's a wolf baby, but she's collecting blackheads in jars. Like,
did I lock in Sage?
I would rather that than.
Did I lock in Sage or Sophie, Dave? This is a good. I'm.
And I just want to say I have a different take on this cast than I think the rest of you. I actually think this cast has been more entertaining than last season.
Dave, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well, I agree with you that I think like Kyle, Camilla, even to a certain extent, Joe and Ava last season compared to this cast is definitely a little bit more chaotic and a little less focused. But I think that makes for a better like experience because I kind of want them to stumble around and not be like a bunch of sharks, a bunch of wolves, baby. I take some joy in like sort of the clumsiness of it. But how any of them will do once they get to 50, we'll see, I suppose.
I wish casting would bring back insane people like they had in like the middle seasons.
Shade
from,
powers. Get some shade.
Yeah.
Somebody who's trying to quit smoking.
Is trying to quit smoking, then he had like a rock that was a cell phone that he was pretending. But that
Yeah.
was like he started doing that like towards the end when he had been out there for 24 days. And he's just like, I'm talking to my family on my rock cell phone.
Right. He's getting Sarita to look at his baby rash, whatever he's got going on there.
Or just some nasty people like a Randy or Corinne, right?
Yeah. Give me some nut bars. These people are all like pretty normal.
Get us some Olympic athletes that won their gold medal with by doping, and then,
with an asterisk,
and then proceed to never win a challenge. That was great. Survivor Gabon. It's worth a watch, people, if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, just on this challenge tonight, I agree it was kind of a dull affair in some ways, but you have 9 people, and so you have this schoolyard pick, and they never show us the schoolyard picks anymore. Now it's always like we're gonna like kind of just cut past that. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Like I'm like in a 90-minute episode, do we not have time for this? Like
I want to see the schoolyard pick at least a little bit.
Like, you know what? Give us the old challenges that kind of like disrupted dynamics where they have to like pick and do Sophie's choices, not Sophie or Soph, but a Sophie's choice where it kind of gets people angry. Like just imagine if Sophie was learned where she was in the pecking order while MC was still there, right? Due to like you guys have to work together to eliminate people, to wind people down, and she got eliminated right after Savannah, but before Soph and Alex. That would have pissed her off, and that would have been interesting. But they don't do that stuff anymore, right? Mm-hmm. Or put people in that position because they don't want to manufacture it. You want to manufacture the tension via putting them in positions where they have to make choices, right? Not manufacture by the producers kind of like cutting things together to make it seem like stuff is happening, right? Give me the former, not the latter.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. And the schoolyard pick, like they said, I guess it was Rizzo was a captain and maybe Christina on the other side. I think it was because I was like, I remember thinking, oh, it's the 2 people with idols who got to be the captains. And then somebody doesn't get picked. That's and ends up being Soph. And so Soph then has to bet on one of the groups, which group she thinks she's going to win. One group had 3 men and 1 woman. One group had 3 women and 1 man. And so Soph chose the team with the 3 men that had Rizzo, Jawan, Steven, and Christina. Was it? No.
Christina wouldn't be on the same team as Rizzo.
I'm trying to think. I think it was maybe I can't remember. I don't know who the woman was on that on that squad for the
Sophie.
No, Sophie was on the other side.
Savannah.
Maybe it was Savannah. Sage. It was Sage. I guess. Okay. Yeah, it was Sage. Okay, and so so Soph ends up betting on that team. They lose. It comes down to the hoop toss here, Foster. It was kind of like it was Jawan and Rizzo kind of alternating on the other side, but and then it was Alex who was kind of carried it for his team in that part of the challenge.
But again, like just a very short challenge, like not a lot going on. Like again, like I understand, like I don't know, like again, like it's like we haven't had a puzzle in a while either. I've noticed that.
My wife looks at me tonight and goes, "Man, I wish they would just do a challenge with 8 puzzles in a row."
That would be kind of fun.
The gauntlet, the puzzle gauntlet.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or like, or
that would be.
Or they do. Well, no, like they do like that. Actually, that'd be really cool. Actually, so they have 9 contestants. They do a puzzle gauntlet. So they go from like 9 to 8 to 7. So one person gets eliminated each round. But they're like, and they're simpler puzzles because you could do that. Like if you do like a really simple type of like initial puzzle where it's like I don't know, like you have the different lengths of like, pole or whatever, right? So you have to make this, you have to combine two to make the same, you know what I mean? Like very simple, like, and they've done some of those with with those what are those challenges at the beginning? I forget. Sorry, the journeys or whatever, right? Like sometimes those can be very simple, right? And so like you could easily have done those as sort of like, again, that'd be really cool actually, Jason. Your wife's onto something. A
I'm
puzzle
not
gauntlet.
Yeah, but yeah,
I want it more complicated. I want 9 puzzles, and there's an extra piece in each puzzle, and you need that extra piece
IKEA
to finish
furniture.
the next puzzle, right? But there are puzzle pieces that are can be used in both, and just to throw people off. Right? That's what
I'll raise you. I'll raise you an extra puzzle piece, Jaemeel, and I want them to be standing on a little pedestal, right, over a ring of fire.
Ooh,
So like if they fall off, then they get burned, and they have to run to the water. And if they run to the water like a coward, then they're out.
And then the final two remaining have to fist fight each other.
Yes. So we call it a Ring of Fire, Michael Scoopin, Brandon Hats hands match.
Right? I do miss some of those physical challenges. I got to tell you,
Rage in the Cage.
Yes.
They used to do like the things like they do like the wrestling, or like they have,
or they'd be like up to they'd have to play basketball, but up to their waist in water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
well, like they just have like that bean bag, and they had to like kind of push people off, but they've gotten rid of all that.
Yes.
Well, that's what I really like about
Sage and Savannah facing off against each other.
That would be fun to watch.
Wolf.
Well, like, that's the big thing that I really, really enjoy about the TV show, The Challenge, like, is the competitions they have are like that. Like, their staple challenges, like their eliminations, what they're called, right, at the end, right? So you get voted in, right, but it's an elimination instead of like a vote out, if you will, right? And some of them, they're called headbangers, right? So like it's literally like one's called like hall brawl, so it'll be a narrow hall, one's on each end, and they have like football equipment on, and they have to run through the other person, right? Exactly. Like, where are the ladders and tacks? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Sage just gives Savannah 15 German suplexes. And just
and then I can see like Sage, she gets the tacks in her back or whatever, right? Or she starts bleeding from the forehead, and she's laughing, like, because she's just enjoying it, right? And then she's like, but then she's trying to save her blood, because that's what she does, right? She's just trying to like don't escape kind of thing, right?
Just imagine,
but no,
Savannah's there still in the game, and she takes the blood and puts like Ash Wednesday, like puts a cross on the forehead,
or makes Joker makeup, like
they could do
Harley
something.
did a blood and guts.
They could do something like, look, the most physical thing we saw this season was Savannah die for those keys. Like, that was the most physical, like, headbutting,
that was the
like, moment of the show. And like, so again, I think I think they need to bring back, not bring back, but they need to bring some sort of like physical competition, like earlier on in the season, if you want to do it when they're a little bit more,
uppity,
uppity and stuff, right? They got more, got more skin on them, or meat on them, right, if you will, right? And meat on those bones, and make it a little. But like, no, I think you said about the wastewater one. I think that's really good idea. Like, I've done that before. I've seen that, but they've got to, again, more gauntlet. Well, why not both? Worldmind. Why not both puzzles and gauntlet matches? Like, again, I think that we've like, what I'm saying is like, I hope Jeff Probst is listening to this, and they can incorporate this in 51, because I know 50's already been filmed, and because I know this is the best one. This is the best podcast in Canada, right? So Jeff, we're doing this for you, man, because we care about you. Not Jeff Mater, because we don't know who that is exactly, but Jeff Probst, no, shout out Jeff Mater, the other
Jeff Mater's spinning in his grave over the kumbaya-ness of this season.
Yeah, well,
he would totally be.
This is the time to announce that it's not the Mater Bros podcast; it's the Mater Bro podcast. We've dropped the S.
Jeff needs to just record a video, just ranting for like 20 minutes about how much he hates this season.
I try to get him here, but he's
He
Mr.
should record it, and we could just play the video.
Yeah, he's Mr. Workaholic these days. Working his
Or you know what he
moonlight.
does? He does a reaction to the reaction podcast. You know, those guys are soft in the podcast. They're not being hard enough on these contestants. This is ridiculous. You know, and
He'd be with me with this whole Christina criticism, I'm sure.
oh, he would. Well, he exactly. I think you buyed him tonight a little bit, right? And I think that if Jeff were here, he'd first of all say that not only, again, like I said, he'd say not only is this cast kumbaya soft, but he's going to say, guys, like all of us here, are soft, and we're going too lightly on these contestants.
How did you look at the move from, like, I know we've brought it up a couple times, but Christina choosing to give up her spot in the reward to Jawan, who had not been on any kind of reward, and she felt like he's always at camp trying to keep everyone positive, keep everyone feeling good, and so that this is kind of a thank you she's giving. Is she being weak, or is this a good move for her?
I don't think she's being weak, but I do think it's dumb this late in the game to give up food and give it to somebody else. I don't think it's necessarily like, I don't understand why people give up these advantages when it's like, that's part of it. Being fueled in Survivor is one of the biggest advantages you can have, especially when what are we at, like day 15 or something? They've been out here starving for 2 weeks
now.
Yeah. That's my
I've
thought on it.
A great. So, on one hand, first of all, and to try to be very vague, unless you know directly what I'm talking about. But I'm surprised that Christina gave up with the reward, and Jaemeel was hesitant. Or sorry, not Jaemeel. Sorry. I know. Look at the face.
No, don't confuse.
Jawan was hesitant to take the reward, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. But with regards to Jawan, I feel like I would be in the same position. I would want to earn my place to get that reward. But then I thought to myself, though, if I'm Jawan, how would I feel if I haven't eaten anything? Right. And just to cave and be like, I'll take it. Right. Because I would definitely want to earn it. But again, you're not in that position that he was in where well, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I need food.
You don't want to, who cares about earning it? Right. If you're hungry, the food goes in your belly. Right? It doesn't matter.
But I did understand his little spiel about nobody ever gives me anything and I had to earn everything in my life. I related to it a little bit, but I don't believe it, because when you're right, Jaemeel, when you're hungry, you're going to eat.
Yeah.
And if you're giving
food, he wasn't that hungry.
Christina wasn't that hungry, I guess. But
he earned his shot on Survivor somehow. He vanquished so many villagers in the area process, to be able to win his spot, right? He played a rock paper scissors match against a producer or something.
Jaemeel,
Jawan, you earned your spot.
No, Jaemeel, he said I would love to meet Uncle Jeff, and they're like, yes, we love that name. You're
Uncle Jeff, that's amazing.
We want you to use that.
I just imagine he's like Huey, Dewey, Louie. Uncle Jeff, Uncle Scrooge.
Jawan is, I don't think, a great player, but I think he's been an entertaining character, on the season. But I don't know. I wouldn't go, well, look at the gameplay on Jawan. Definitely not. But
hey, he's lost a bunch of weight. It looks like, that's something.
Almost does abs.
Everybody is very svelte, but it looks like he.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of his backstory here, where he was he's raised by a single mom, and he's got a bunch of younger siblings, and he's kind of had to step in and be sort of the father figure, big brother character, and so, and Jawan is only 20. Jawan's 28, right, from LA. So I don't know. I don't mind him per se, but I'm not rooting for him to win either. So Anyway, so that there was a reward. There was the people that went on the reward, which was Jawan, Savannah, and Alex, and one more. I think it was Sophie. It was Yellow Sophie. So who all went on that, and they had the cheesecake and the chicken and the French fries. And then back at camp, Steven's having PTSD about chickens. He's killed 2 of the chickens, and there's 2 chickens left, and like they're staring at him.
They're surrounding
nightmares and
the camp.
Right. All
like
that was
saying, "I know what you did."
Yeah, I know what you did, and like what you did last summer or this summer, and all that stuff. And so that kind of came up a little bit in Tribal, even, where they're like, "We're playing a game of chicken." Sorry, Steve, I'm not trying to trigger you about the chickens, but it's sometimes we gotta use the word.
It looks like we have some Reddit support coming in.
Do we?
Thanks for the Reddit support.
From Mr. McG92. Yeah, well, thank you for the support.
Appreciate
the immunity challenge. Let's talk about the immunity challenge. Just I don't think you just hold your leg against this big steel or iron disc, hold it there. An endurance challenge. I thought it was interesting that they chose to give immunity to a man and a woman tonight. I don't really understand why they needed to, but
lulls
for the lulls.
What does that mean?
LOLs
for the
laughs.
Why would they get people to laugh?
Because it messes with the dynamics. Because if Savannah was an option, it makes it infinitely easier to vote out Rizzo and Savannah, right? But with one of them off the table, it makes it more like it's positioning them. It's positioning dynamics to occur, right? Previously, when I was talking about where the producers set up the contestants where they have to make choices that kind of reveal where people stand, right? I would prefer that versus them manufacturing, right, outcomes, right? This is an example of them manufacturing an outcome because they see the dynamics and they're like, this is the time where we're gonna do a male and female dual immunities, because we know that chances are Sophie or Savannah is going to win out of the 2. We've seen them in endurance. It's like back-to-back endurance challenges. Just imagine if it was a physical challenge, like a physical force challenge, and the head boy, whatever guy that they were really positioning as like a star or something, won it the first time and then seemingly won it again. The streets would be calling for production interference.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like something happened in this game where with Jake going home and then 2 tribes getting just decimated, the way things shook out, they had to make it like that season. There were 2 or 3 after COVID where every episode seemed to have a thing happen. I think by happenstance, they've had to make there be a shakeup or a thing happen every episode because of the way that people voted early in the game. I don't think it was supposed to play out like this. Remember, for instance, a few episodes ago where they're like, well, we have a game set up for 3 teams, so drop your buffs, I guess.
That's what we're doing.
I think this is intervention without being intervention, like what I think Jaemeel is saying.
I get, but I'm just trying to think. Let's say with the producers, they want Savannah to stay in the game as long as possible, and they also maybe want Rizzo to stay in the game. So they were hoping maybe Savannah and Rizzo would win this potentially. That's not what happens here.
Only one of them need to win,
or maybe it was given, or only one of them needs to win, and then
because if Rizzo won it, Rizzo could
give the idol to Savannah. Right,
or he could give his idol to Savannah if they felt that they were gonna possibly, be challenged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, or was this always the plan that there was always going to be a man and a woman safe?
We'll never know.
Steven I wouldn't he didn't have to keep going once Jawan was out, who he was down to but I don't know. Like, would I think that Savannah probably would have beat Steven, and I think I think Sophie as well. But I would have rather them just play it open. Like, I don't know. If this seemed like it was not necessarily harder for men or women, from what I could tell. There was no indication for that here for me. Like, but I don't know. Well, I can't say I can complain too much because in the draft, my two picks here, Steven and Savannah, were the two winners. So I was feeling pretty good after this. And I was like, hey, I'm not losing anyone tonight. So
Do you guys find that Steven just looks like a regular man is playing Survivor the way he's dressed? He's like, I'm going to the bars tonight also,
He's
but you
a
guys can
man,
sleep on the beach.
manly man.
he's the man with space facts, as in this challenge where Jawan's like, talk about space. I don't need to hear Jeff Probst say, like, you got to dig. You need to get in there.
He's the new Christian Hibiki.
Do you want a space analogy or a kangaroo analogy?
Well, there was Christian, and there was that other guy who won, or he was supposed to win. Remember Carson? Remember, like, in the Carolyn season, and he.
But Christian is going to be in season 50, so maybe Steven and Christian could
space nerds
have
unite.
Well, he's a physicist, right?
Astrophysicist.
Sorry,
an astrophysicist.
Yes, but I think Christian Hibiki is just a physicist.
Okay.
So just a physicist,
just a run of the mill theoretical
Just
physicist.
imagine like an endurance challenge where both of them are just sprouting like scientific facts, and Savannah's like, "Oh my gosh, my head is gonna explode."
I just hope Jawan's there to go. I don't know what they're talking about.
The way that they framed that is Sage left the game so that he would stop saying astrophysicist facts. That's the way it looked. She dropped and she made a face. And then he stopped doing facts. I thought that was a funny way to frame that.
So Sage not down with these facts?
She's like, I'm out. I can't.
I'm gonna go
It's
back.
not about blackheads. I can't talk about this. So
I believe in the firmament.
Yeah.
Sage.
So Foster, you've been quiet. Anything else on this challenge, like this immunity challenge, how it played out? Any final thoughts before we move on?
No, I think I covered most at the beginning of the podcast. I mean, yeah, like it's again, I haven't seen this one ever before. But again, like it's been a lot of endurance, which is typically the case. Like the one I'd like to see is which I like is when they do the wrist hold, where the weight is a predetermined percentage of your pre-game body weight.
Like a bucket of water.
Yeah. So it's like all in the same, so this one, like they all have the same amount of weight stuff, right? Like if you're taller, like you're at disadvantage, right? So, I mean, like that's kind of something that I'd like to see as it relates to, kind of on the same playing field. Like I'm anticipating the next, there's going to be some balancing ones coming up because that's all, with the long poles and holding stuff. Because that's usually, the case. They did one earlier with the high pole and the ball, but I mean, again, like they have to try to figure something else out in terms of changing it up because we've seen it happen in the regular challenges, but not so much the immunity challenges.
We haven't seen a game in a long time that goes like 5 hours, which probably sucks for them in production. But for me to watch that time elapse and watch the people on the bench, just like that's entertaining to me to watch them being just tortured.
Like, have to wait for this to end.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the food challenge when they have that long thing and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is great. Keep going. I'm just gonna eat more chicken.
Yeah. There are those ones. Mortal Kombat over a spike pit would be really living it up.
I think we covered that earlier. I think that's pretty much where we went with it.
Yeah.
A ring of fire.
Now, like in terms of like all the tribal stuff that came after the immunity or like we kind of covered a lot of that was like who the targets were going to be, and I was just kind of mostly amazed that Rizzo was so confident that he didn't have to play the idol. Like I was like, you should play it anyway, even if you're pretty sure Jawan and Sage are going to vote you. But he's really going for it. He wants to hold on to that idol till he can't. And we'll see if that ultimately is his undoing or not, or if at least he's willing to take a risk compared to like Christina, who I'm very critical of, not willing to take risks. Like at least Rizzo's trying here.
She's not even in a position to take a risk.
Rizzo could win Survivor with the game that he's played recently. You know what I mean? Like on the stand at the end, he could be like, I squeaked by every single moment with my actual survival skills and my ability to outplay. I think that he's got a winning game on his hands. If he can keep going with it, he could fly way too close to the sun. His wings could burn up and he could come soaring down and explode.
He's Icarus. Exactly.
He's Icarus.
Well, like on Christina there, like, is she in a position to take a risk? Like, she can play the idol on Alex, for instance, if she really wants Rizzo to go here, right? Like, you know, put all the votes on Rizzo. Don't try to split the votes with Soph, and put all the votes on Rizzo. Play it on Alex. Like, you know, like that would be. She'd have to have knowledge of what they're doing too, and I'm sure she didn't. But
knowing our luck, if she put the idol on Alex, Soph would go, right? And then Savannah would find the idol. Just be like, oh my gosh.
And for all of this, we haven't really talked much about Alex tonight. And like, what did he like? We know he played the middle, and that ultimately got him burned here. But like, I don't know.
Since Jake has been gone, he's been a non-factor.
Yeah, he's really been sort of not a, like, I was like, good, see you later. Like, I find you less entertaining than Christina.
Wow.
And you know, like, the most entertaining thing about him in this episode was that zit. And I was just like, God damn, this zit. He's got to do something about it. You know, like, it needs to be. This is a better. It was getting bigger in tribal, I thought, or maybe it was just the fire glistening on it, right? But I was like, this is painful. I was like, what? Sage should get in there and like put it in a jar or something. And you know, right? It was just
POV or Jaemeel is
just squirts the camera.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just listen to Alex's exit here, if there's anything we can garner.
I can't say I'm surprised, honestly. I was a little too loose at the lips, and that's why I'm sitting here. I just am extremely grateful for this, and I know that everyone at home calls me a softie, but I killed 2 chickens, I brought home 4 fish for my tribe, and so I'm a lot tougher than I might think I am, and I know I'm a stronger person because of being out here.
What did Rizzo write? What was the number he wrote?
Let's hold on. Let me have a look here.
6.
6 7.
6 7. Was it the Pokemon number for like?
Juwan wrote the number 3 on there for some reason.
Because he's Todd Ingram, obviously.
Is it his Discord fucking handle number?
Hold on. He wrote. He might have. Okay, yeah. Let's see what he wrote here. I'm still trying to decipher it. Enhance.
Enhance.
It says, yeah. It says Alex number 4 for Bob.
Great. We're getting shout outs in Survivor now.
I guess.
I want them to bring back #blindside. Put that up on the screen like they used to.
Alex with a tie, and then there's the third vote here, or the number 3 written by Jawan for some reason. Anyway, I don't know, Alex. Like, I don't know. I killed 2 chickens and 4 fish, and that's how I'm showing I'm tough. And I was just like, you know, like I agree that after him and Jake were split up, he became very much a non-factor. At best, he was like this extra vote for the Hina group at times. But yeah, he's like, I talk too much. I said too much. And then as he kind of says this on the way out, as he's getting his torch snuffed, like they're like, well, at least he knows he was playing in the middle. And that's why this all happened. And like, in particular, Rizzo had like the most dramatic response there. And yeah, like that's Alex joins the jury. We got, I don't know. I'm really hoping that the next member of the jury is not Christina or Jawan, because it's not going to look too good, I think, on this jury here. But I'm sure it's not intentional.
Real horror movie energy.
Yeah, horror movie energy.
Horror movie energy.
Exactly.
That's Christina's entire excuse. It's like, don't vote for me because dynamics.
Look. Dynamics, optics, at the very least, you know, and all that playing out here. But anyway.
It's a big Savannah instead. It's like,
Better.
sorry, Rizzo, we got to vote.
Sorry, Rizzo. It has to be you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Technically, it's like if the woke has its way, either Steven or Rizzo is gone next.
Yeah, this is reflective of Trump's America.
Yeah, well, this was back in what? This was before the election, right?
Steven's like, I'm part Puerto Rican.
This was filmed this year, right? Oh, so they already know. Okay. Well, anyway, so let's just look ahead to the next episode. Well, I guess, and just crossing off Alex here first. Who had Alex in the draft? Jen. So Jen is done. Sorry, Jen. She had Alex and Nicole. Remember Nicole?
No, I do. I thought that she was gonna go far. She had good moxie, but then they were like, "You have too much moxie."
Yeah, that's it for her. So anyway, another team bites the dust, whereas Team Dave fully intact and looking strong. Let's look ahead to the next episode, everyone. It is called A Huge Dose of Bamboozle. Here's the preview.
It's me next. I don't want to be around these people.
Next time on Survivor.
I'm scared.
We're about to blow up the game.
It's done, and nobody would see it coming.
They're gonna flip. We have no idea. This is where players live or die. We have to do her out.
It's a horror movie.
It was definitely a horror movie vibe there. Absolutely. Now, the thing I'm most intrigued with was like we see like the three jury members, Nate, MC, and Alex, and they're like, "What? What's this? Like, what could they be reacting to? Are they reacting? Somebody playing an immunity idol? No.
Soph using knowledge's power.
Soph using knowledge's power. Yeah, that could be because nobody knows she has it, right? Like, I don't think she's told anybody.
Yep.
Whereas everyone else seems to. Yeah, it's like maybe that whole like Christina's like they're just voting all the black people off of the show. And, you know, that's the horror movie vibes we're getting here. But you know, but Steve would be like, "Don't worry, Christina, you won't be the next one out because everyone wants to sit next to you at the end, so you're good." A huge dose of bamboozle. You know, vibes of Richard Hatch. You know, I've been bamboozled in All Stars here. You know, and you know, like some kind of a blindside. So that's exciting, right? Looking ahead to this one.
They split the votes to vote out either Soph or Rizzo, and Rizzo says he's going to use his idol. Soph uses knowledge's power, takes the idol from Rizzo, and uses it to save herself.
Or they steal Christina's idol.
No, it's more of a happy ending if Rizzo loses his idol and gets voted out.
I think that's like that's your perfect scenario. But
yeah, I said happy ending.
The Soph is allied with Rizzo
until she blindsides him.
Well, maybe, yeah. Foster?
I mean, it's never what you think we're hoping it's going to be. So it's probably going to be something like Christina, you know, plays her idol on herself. That doesn't even need to be used. I don't know. Like it's I don't know. Like it's not
going Christina move. Very safe.
What?
Seems like
so. I don't know. Like it's kind of like I don't know. It's not as big as we're making it out to be. Usually the case.
I talked a big game the episode before Jake went home regarding this, where I was like, "Yeah, right. Nobody's getting bit by a snake." Remember that time a person chased the other person with a machete and they didn't even show it. Really, I think this is more leaning that way, where they just made it seem there's going to be one thing that happens that they reacted like that too, and the rest of it's going to be pretty benign.
Do you feel like there's any chance we're not getting to 13 episodes this season? Like, do you think we're potentially only doing?
There's a recap episode next week.
Well, that's what
they're all like. What?
I'm just like, it's not clear to me like how many more episodes. Like last season, there was 13, so I guess we can assume there's the same number of episodes this season. But could it be just a bit shorter with the Christmas break coming up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very quickly, who's everyone's picks for 50 so we can...
Oh, yeah, let's get that on the record. Good point. Now, Jason, we didn't have you here last week. I don't know who you would have said.
I'm gonna do Rizzo and Savannah. If that's not.
Is it locked? Is it locked?
It's locked. I lock.
Oh.
I lock.
Okay, you're locking both of those. Foster's already locked. He locked Jake. He locked in Jake and Sage already. Becky, do you want to give have your predictions changed?
I'm the same. I'm gonna keep from last week.
Rizzo and Savannah.
Yep.
And Jaemeel, you had Sage and MC.
I do want to keep going with MC, but I'll do Sage and Steven.
Sage and Steven. And based on this episode, I feel like Rizzo is for sure. I feel like Rizzo is almost like, if he doesn't win this season, he's almost certainly going to be on 50. And I'm feeling really good about Savannah, still. So I'm going to put Rizzo and Savannah.
It's weird to think that this season, like, these people are all in the back of their head are like, if I play good enough, I could be on next season. So maybe that's the ultimate. That's the goal.
We all know that's Christina's motivation for all the dynamic moves she's making.
If that is her motivation, like, she's even more of a disappointment than I've expressed already. So
tell us more how you really feel, Dave.
Oh,
yeah.
One day when the cameras aren't rolling. So yeah. All right. Well, I think we can close the books tonight on this episode, and we'll see you next week for episode 10. Just to plug everything else happening here in the network. We got a Hey, Did You See This One coming tomorrow?
Yep. We are 3 episodes into Noirvember. Last week we talked about Dick Tracy. It was a good episode. Tomorrow night we're talking about Hard Boiled, which I've watched most of, and this movie's insane. If you want to see us make a lot of jokes about Chow Yun-Fat sliding, that's going to be kind of the vibe. And then next month, I just want to give a heads up, since we'll probably be done the show by then. I think maybe not. I don't know how it's going to shake up, but we're doing like a horror Christmas. So you can find our show each and every week on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's me and Stephen Waters. And our guest this week is Tatiana Ramos. And she's been on before, and she's a fan favorite. So it's going to be a good talk.
And I really loved your Dick Tracy episode last week because that movie just...
I didn't get to watch it, so I have to go back and watch it.
Go back and watch it. And so I left this comment like, I want more. They're referencing the Madonna song. They're like, what does he want more of? More what? And
I'm a big Dick Tracy fan.
It was also genuinely one of our funnier episodes, like start to finish. We go long, but we kept up the humor the whole time. It didn't really slow down like it does sometimes around the third hour.
30 more seconds and no more dick. 30 more seconds and no more dick. I can listen to that. And then we also on Live Long and Podcast, we also have our reviews, Star Trek reviews always going on over there. And we on Trivial Debates on November 30th, we are doing a Babylon 5 themed episode. Well, I'll be hosting. Everyone's pretty excited, at least the people that will be
do you have your guests yet?
Yeah. We got Jeff Aiken, we got Justin Velociraptor, and we have one more. I forget who it is.
Jody?
No, it's not Jody. So, but look out for that. It's going to be good times. We live for the one, we die for the one. That's how it goes on Survivor. And we'll leave you tonight with a Jeff Probst quote. We'll see you next time here. Thanks to Foster, Jaemeel, Bex, and Jason, and to all those out there. We'll see you next time here on Super Mario Brothers Podcast and Hey, Did You See This One? Good night.
Are you feeling like something's missing in your life? You need a little hip in your hop? I got an idea. Apply to Beyond Survivor.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, Did You See This One? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.